What's good, YouTube? It's Dane Sauce, and today I got a review on the Jordan brand Tatum ones. Let's get right into it. To start it off with some important details, Jordan brand claims this is their lightest shoe of all time, and as soon as you put these on foot and start running around a little bit, you can instantly feel that that's facts. These feel so light on feet. They definitely did a great job eliminating unnecessary materials to conserve weight. Since these leaked, people have been talking crazy, saying these look ugly, saying they look like the wildest Jordans they've ever made, but honestly, I think this is a great looking shoe and it looks even cooler on foot. If you think this is the craziest looking Jordans they've put out, you gotta do some research. Starting off with the traction, we have a very different setup here. We have rubber only in the forefoot in two areas, and then we just have a full foam compound for the heel. The rubber parts in the forefoot did their job pretty well. It was a bit strange having this cut out right here because this is exactly where your pivot point is if you're pivoting on your forefoot. So when I was doing hard pivots right here, I could almost feel this part as if the foam was getting dragged on the floor and kind of wearing down right here. But the rubber panels did perform pretty well. The heel though is pretty buns, I'm not gonna lie. Durability is gonna be terrible on these as well. If you wanted to play in these outdoors, I'm giving you like 2 weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks max, and I'm not exaggerating. These are just gonna burn to pieces. People have been comparing this heel compound to the flow foam that Under Armour has, but this is definitely a different compound. It does not grip the same as that. The floor I was testing on was pretty dirty, so that's part of it, but everyone plays on a dirty floor, so this is just a realistic review. I really like that Jordan brand tried to branch out and do something different here. I just think it could have been executed a little bit better. This foam compound needs to be better, or at least just put another panel of rubber right here on the heel. Even though you're playing on your forefoot most of the time, when you're running and you have to do a direct lateral stop, your heel has to touch the ground because the entire surface area of the bottom of your foot needs to stop your weight and propel you the other direction. I saw Jay Jones said in his review that it's one of those things where you don't really need it till you need it, so they should have just put a little bit of something here on the heel. These are translucent as well, so I'm sure the colorways with the more solid rubber might be a little bit better, but overall the experience is still going to be the same. I'm going to give the traction a 6.5 out of 10. If there was a little heel piece on the back, even with this same forefoot setup, they definitely could have pulled off a 7.5, but we just need a little more from Jordan brand. Cushioning setup is very interesting as well. You have a very large zoom unit in the forefoot, which actually does feel amazing. When I watched the tech breakdown and saw how they had it placed in there, I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but it actually feels really nice on your foot. It definitely covers a large area. I said this in my Zion 2 review, but I feel like the zoom unit is just a little bit too far back on the ball of your foot. I think it should be up just a smidgen higher to where the front of the ball of your foot and even part of your toes are hitting the zoom unit. I think it'll be even more responsive if they do that, but they usually have it placed a little too far back. I'm not sure why. If you can see inside, this is the bottom of the zoom unit and this is the top, so that's covering a huge part. It's covering pretty much the entire forefoot, so no matter what, you're gonna feel it. In the heel, there's no cushioning tech other than this block of foam that goes into this entire outsole mold. Honestly, the foam feels pretty good though. If you really are playing on your forefoot, then this won't matter that much, but on the times that you do have to use it, it definitely gets the job done. Now the area right under the arch of your foot is pretty crazy. There's actually nothing. Your foot doesn't even touch anything. It's just levitating above the outsole, which I think is really cool. A lot of people said, oh, it feels so weird, but no, it just doesn't feel like anything. Like if you're playing and you're just focused on playing basketball, you're not going to be thinking about, oh, why don't I feel any material under the ball of my foot right now? Through my several hours of testing, I didn't experience any pain in my arch or anything like that. Your foot sort of sits in this chassis and sits inside the upper of the shoe, and once your weight is on it, it's gonna bring your foot down into the cushioning setup and into this chassis. Because of how soft the materials are and how soft this plate is, you're not gonna get a super springy, bouncy feeling, but they should let your foot move in the way that you need them to. And overall, it just feels really solid. I guarantee they're gonna make some big improvements on this in the future. They definitely could put a little zoom unit in the heel or something like that, but this forefoot zoom is really nice while you still feel light on your feet, so I'm gonna give the cushion a 7.5 out of 10. As far as materials go, you have the Jordan brand Leno Weave upper. Super light, just feels good around your foot. Not much to say really. You can't get a super tight fit with this no matter how tight you tighten your laces. It doesn't feel like it's squeezing your foot, which I personally like. I don't like my foot to be suffocated because I have a wide foot, but the material is very breathable and flexible and just gets the job done. Durability is not going to be crazy, but like I already said, there's no way you should be playing in these outdoors anyways. If you play indoors and you take care of your shoes, I don't think they're going to fall apart. The ventilation on these is great because of the weave, and you have some holes in the tongue here that you can see your socks through. The support is kind of interesting on these. When I first saw this shoe, I thought it looked really stiff. It looked like this plastic was going to be super rigid and whatnot, but the shoes are extremely flexible. Because of this gap in the midfoot area, these just bend like crazy, and the plastic that they're using for these counters is not as hard as I thought it was going to be. When I'm in the shoe and I'm trying to push my weight to the side, where I try to get my foot to lean out of the shoe, these definitely do way better than I thought they would. You do have a pretty decent heel counter in there. It could be a little stronger, but it's really the lightness of the shoe that kind of throws your mind off to thinking that they're not very supportive. If you lace these up all the way to the top lace, get them a nice tug, they should be great. I'm gonna give the support a 7 out of 10. As far as the fit goes, these do fit a little bit long, so I went a half size down and I have a wide foot, and they still fit really well. I usually wear a 13.5 in most Nike shoes, and I got a 13 in these, and I'm loving the fit. Also, since you can't get the laces super tight and get that lino weave to hug your foot that much, I wouldn't really recommend going up a half size if you have wide feet. But because of how lightweight and forgiving these materials are, you should be fine going true to size or even a half size down. As far as the looks go, I think these shoes turned out really well. I love the embroidery that they threw in on the heel of these, as well as the tongue. There's a few different animal patterns. This one has cheetah print along here, the other shoe has zebra print. I also like the small hits of patent leather. His son's name is inside all the shoes. That's really cool. There's some really dope colorways on the way that I'm excited about. I might have to grab another pair. Overall, I really like what they did with the Tatum 1. This is great for a first shoe, but also it's just Jordan Brand branching out and finally giving us something new. I think they're heading in the right direction with some of the technology that they put in these. I hope they can improve this foam compound because it's definitely a cool weight saver for shoes in the future. At the price point of $120, I could definitely justify buying these, but if durability is an issue for you, then these are not the shoes to get. That's the #1 biggest problem, is the durability. But other than that, if you want to try something new, I would recommend getting these off Nike so you can return them if you need to, but you might really enjoy these. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe if you want to see more performance tests. Comment and let me know what you guys want me to test next. I got the Way of Wade All City 11s coming next, and then I'm trying to get my hands on a pair of Jaw 1s. I missed the day 1 drop. I think most people did, but I'm gonna try to get the white and yellow ones on May 4th. You guys can follow my Instagram for more updates and check out my music on all platforms as well. Until next video, this is Dane Sauce, and I'm out.